Going live.
Oh, Shabbat Shalom, Israel.
Shabbat Shalom.
All right, so once again, we want to invite everybody that's here to the Ark of Israel. So thank you for coming, and we hope you return again. We're going to have our lesson today about the introduction to Israel, and we're going to start off with a video. This video is a very seclusive video. It's only for 9 minutes long. So if you pay close attention to this video, you're going to see some things in this video you probably should be able to identify with if you're Israel. So we're going to start this thing off now, and we're going to get it going here in a second. Are we ready? Okay. Okay, don't really pay attention to the
Hello, my fellow patriots. I'm Kane Corley, former Navy SEAL platoon commander, sniper.
नेशनल 87 के बाद जो एसएजी का स्पोर्ट्स प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट हो गया तो न्यूज़ वाले आने लगे और पेपर में न्यूज़ और ये कौन बच्चे किधर से हम किधर नहीं देखे अरे आप अपना हिंदुस्तान में अफ्रीका से अरे बाप रे अजीब बात है ये कभी सुना नहीं
So it says CD refers to the ethnic group living in Indian subcontinent that descended from Bantu peoples of Africa. In India, this group first arrived in the 7th century and settled in areas that now comprise the state of Karnataka. I'm not going to pronounce that. So the guy's accent is kind of thick, so we kind of got to read along, okay? This one talks about 1987. The little-known CDs came into the national limelight when the Sports Authority of India decided to use the natural athleticism of these Indian Africans to win medals under Special Areas Games, the SAG program.
मैं जुजैर लड़का अब्दुल सिद्दी मैं मुंबई में सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में जॉब करता हूँ जॉब करने के बाद मैं मुंबई में आया हूँ लेकिन मैं यहाँ का नहीं हूँ कर्नाटक स्टेट में एक्चुअली कारवार डिस्ट्रिक्ट में छोटे अपने अपनी कम्युनिटी है मैं उधर का हूँ एक्चुअली मैं 50 किलोमीटर जाएगा या
About doing 50 kilometers from
तो
here.
मैं
I
आज
was
नहीं
living as a foreigner.
मैं
I am branded a tourist. When I travel in trains and buses, I encounter a lot of racism. I have once been held by my collar and told, "You are a guest of this country. Don't overstep your boundaries." I fight for my rights as an Indian. But they don't realize that, and I can't get even angry. Because of the incidents like these, a lot of us feel that we don't belong in the cities. The jungles feels like homes. Feels like home. The first time the government officials came to our village, they asked us to run, throw, and jump. Back then, we didn't realize their purpose. Since 1900, India has never won an Olympic medal in track and field. The Sports Authority of India believes passionately that India can win an Olympic gold. That talent does exist in the country. Only it must be discovered, nurtured, and trained. For this purpose, the Special Area Games Project was set up. The SAG team thought of scouting the seedy children of the program for the program because they have African lineage, and the performance of the African origin athletes on the world stage is excellent. So the Indian government thought of using our African power in sports to get medals on the world stage. In 1989, when I was selected, I couldn't sleep in the night out of excitement. In school, we used to see pictures of Ben Johnson and Carl Lewis in magazines. We used to hope that the project would make us like them. When the train arrived in Hubley, we got in quickly, and it was winter then. People who saw us in the train wondered if we didn't feel the cold because we didn't have slippers, and all of us were traveling barefoot. After getting trained, the seedy kids routinely started getting medals at the district, state, and national levels. Kamala Booby, City 15 national record holder in the junior girls pentathlon. She broke the previous record by almost 200 points. The next 2 years are vital for her. This is from my first South Asian Federation Games, 1993. I didn't really know about the specifics of the kit given by the government. I just knew I wanted to wear the Indian colors. A lot of people ask me for it, but it's not something that you part with even after you die. Philip Anthony City. He warms up for the 800 millimeter. I was so trying to wear that Carl Lewis was actually amongst the cities. I was the first one to represent the nation abroad. The program changed my life in a lot of ways. I was able to buy this 2-acre plot. Sports got me money and a job. If it weren't for Sports Authority of India, I would have been a nobody. But that's good. Everybody was performing well and the program was running fine. But suddenly in 1993, all of the kids were given a letter stating that the program is over. We were asked to go back home. I don't know why this happened despite the great results. A lot of kids cried, went back home, but I stayed back. Because I look African, none of the societies in Mumbai would keep me as a paying guest. Everywhere in Mumbai, we have a bad reputation. We are made to feel like outsiders. Once my wife was helping my son Julius with his homework. She was pointing out different animals in a book. When she pointed a chimpanzee out, my son told her that is what a man calls him. That is what a man calls him. Both my wife and I were shocked as citizens of this nation. If we have to face these issues all of our lives, then we can't help but feel. The difficulties we are facing in India can only be addressed by raising awareness about the seedy community. The fact that they are our people, and it can only be done through sports. All of us ex-athletes and government officials have convinced the government to restart the SAG program. Since restarting it last year, we have got 20 young athletes in a hotel. They try stretching it all the way up. In every Olympic and World Championship, the East Africans Kenyans, Tanzanians, Ethiopians, or Somalians. They might not have the best of resources, but once the athletics events start, their medal tally increases exponentially. Our nation is not able to muster this gap. This gap is what we want to bridge. That is our dream. The efforts of ex-athletes like Juju, Kamala, and Philip, and officials from the side, a full-fledged Special Olympic Area Games Center has been proposed for the young seeding talents. While it is set up, the first batch of athletes is being groomed at the Loyola School in Mondaga with the ultimate goal of fetching medals in the 2024 Olympics.
So that's pretty much the end. But to understand who the seedy people are, do more research on them, because the seedy people actually jumped off the slave boats and went and hid in the jungles of India. And they've been there ever since, and they named them seedy because they are outcasts. And they've been out there for a long time, and when they go into the city amongst the Indians from India, they're treated as such, as outcasts. It wasn't until they realized that they had this special talent that is well known amongst Israel, that were gifted athletic-wise, that they said, hey, we want to win some medals. Let's go get the seedy people. Because they know who they are and they know where they are. There are more documentaries on there about how they are also trying to take their little land in the jungles, because they, you know, just like regentrification, they're actually doing it in the jungles. They're saying, we want this, y'all got to move. When they live off the land, they don't go to the cities very often. But just to show, Israel is all over the world. These seedy people are in the middle of India. They look nothing like Indians, and they believe that they're Africans. But we just wanted to share that since the topic for today.
You can also see how their experience mimics a lot of all of Israel's experiences in different countries all over the world. The whole thing about, you know, someone called the son a chimpanzee, a monkey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the way that they're being outcast all over the place. Same things that, you know, our forefathers and stuff went through here. Some of us may have experienced some of that stuff in our lives.
And it carries on the legacy that these nations use us for our athleticism. You know, so that's the same thing that happened with us. They use us because we are very athletic people, right? So it's the same thing happening to us that ties us right in there with sister in the back end.
I was gonna say a couple of things. Also, if you look up the word seedy, was another video and said that seedy also means the enlightened ones.
Wow.
They also run with lions, and the lions are like nice to them, and they tame the lions and they run with the lions out in the mountains of.
Wow.
And like everybody said, it's interesting that the only way they can see out is through athletics. Like that's like if we can get our athletic ability, they dance also. So they're like, if I can dance, if I can run, whatever sports or move my body, that's the only way that they can figure out a way to make money. It's just like us here.
Right.
Scattered among the nations, and again, the experience that they just described here, it mimics Deuteronomy 28. Bywords, you know, you're being the way that they're being kind of being like outcasts among the other nations. Mimics the same thing that we've experienced here, and same thing that we've experienced in other countries. Israel, and it said Bantu people. Bantu people are Israelites that are again scattered throughout the world. So Israel has different names. Well, you know, the descendants of Israelites go by different names. Once you start looking things up, like they said, look up Seedi, look up Bantu, you begin to see that Israelites are all over the place, but they just may be called other things.
Because, but the scripture said we can be known by bywords, you know. So we're not going to be known by Israel. We've been known by any other name other than Israel. Okay, sister.
And I was also thinking about the top 8 athletes that's in this country too. I was thinking about, you know, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, and all of
you know, and the top football players, basketball players, and all of that. And even though they kind of, I'm thinking, even though they kind of like changed it a bit to give us more money based on the contract that these athletes sign, they're still watched. So any little thing, they'll try to find a reason to arrest them or put them in court so they can gradually get that money back.
Because they put them in the limelight to tear them down in the limelight.
Well, now, too, speaking again about the Olympics, I watch the Olympics when they come out, because I like to see the talent Israel has. And you will see countries like Japan, like, you know, the whole running team is Israel.
Right.
No, where is the Japanese?
Right. I think one year we was talking about it was Israel competing against Israel.
It was always Israel. Germany, Israel's friend.
Yeah.
Bulgaria, I'm like,
Right. I think one year we was actually watching it, and I think all of us watching it, we said, man, Kelly might have been the one that said it, but they said, it's Israel, you know, competing against Israel. I was like, light bulb came up and said, it is.
You see the same thing in like Division I colleges, you know, all over the place. And these athletes are generating millions and millions and millions of dollars for these schools. These are the ones, you know, they're all on TV, got the TV spots, giving scholarships all over the place. Schools are famed because of the athletic programs, and you look at what those teams are comprised of. The majority of what those teams are comprised of, and it's Israel.
That's it. And then you look at, like she said, once they get into, if they go to a professional state, that's why I always say to the brothers, if they're gonna give you a scholarship to get in school, when you go in, get your education. Because once you get past the school part of it, right, because you're making money for them while you're in school, right? Of course, if you're going to the pro, you can make money for them, then you're gonna be making an equivalent of that. But still, if anything go wrong, you got your education. It's the education that counts. So when you go, when you do get this, if or when you do get this scholarship, use that scholarship to get the education, not the fame, right? Because the fame is going to glorify them. The education is going to glorify, and I won't say glorify, but it would enlighten you and lift you up, you know. We can't hear you.
I was saying if an athlete gets, let's say, for example, $24 million contract, that's peanuts to what the company is,
Yeah.
organization. It's just peanuts. So you are extremely valuable to them with your skills.
That's it, because we are the most skillful people on this earth. That's something that the Most High gave us. We read books how Brother Judy used to run faster than what they call it they call it a hind, but I think now in this day and now we call it deer, right? So you find a brother, I ain't seen a brother yet kick over the deer, but they say Judah did it, right? And they were scaling walls. I mean, really tall walls. They were scaling those walls. The Most High has always given us the power to do things physically, right? Our own downfall was mentally, and what we did, you know, when it came down to the law, statutes, and commandments, our behavior. So,
Yeah, well, just the distinction. Downfall, I wouldn't say necessarily was mentally, but it was in the vein of disobeying.
Disobedience.
Yeah, disobedience with commandments, because we've been gifted mentally as well,
Exactly.
all over the place, and created all types of societies and all types of different achievements all over this world. Many of those things have been whitewashed, and of course our culture has been stolen, and so many of us don't know that we were the creators of all these things. So I still don't want to say that we did it of ourselves. We did it because the Most High has empowered us and given us gifts in so many different areas.
and when I said mentally, I meant just what the brother said, decisionally. You know, we made some bad decisions, and we didn't do the things that according to. Well, we did do the things according to the covenant. But we did it, you know, we did things out of covenant. You know, we did the wrong thing. We were disobedient. And that's what got us in the place that we're in today. You know, so I wanted to bring that about. Anybody else have anything that they want to say?
I was also thinking about another systematic way on how they can gradually get the money back is when they put the images in front of our faces so we can gravitate to, you know, people, you know, having a relationship outside of the people, outside of our own people, and that's another subtle way on, like, say, if it's a separation or a divorce or they're accusing of battery or whatever, and that's when the law will come in, or that's when the divorce lawyer may come in, and next thing you know, that money, that's another way that the money can gradually get away from us, out of our community, back into their community.
And a lot of, if a major organization rise up against the sports authorities that we're in, and we're in any type of violation, first thing they do, they attack you and they take your money. Look what happened to the brother that was over with the Ravens. What's that boy's name of the show? Running back. Yeah, Ray Rice. Y'all see what happened to Ray Rice? Yeah, there's a lot of brothers, right, that this happens to. Before, it's not, when you're an athlete, you're not innocent until proven guilty. You're guilty until you're proven innocent. Have y'all noticed that? Every time they shut you down first of all, right then. That's why I say it's important to get your education first. Because you don't know when these guys are going to turn on you. Remember, these are the same people that put you in bondage. These are your oppressors. Yeah, we can be smart enough to get in and we can get the money and kind of like help our communities and help our families, yeah. But we got to be smart enough to actually do that when we get there, you know. And some of us don't. 90% of the young brothers that has athletic stuff placed before them, 90% of those brothers don't make it to the pro. Y'all do know that, right? So when if you're blessed enough by the Most High to get there, make sure you don't let that become you, right? You become who you are. You stay who you are, and wisely set yourself up, because at any point, at any time, they can take things away from you. But I don't want our lesson to get thrown off by this video too much. I mean, it was a great video. I enjoyed the video, but we want to get into the lesson too, right? We want to get into it. And it's like, the name of this lesson is actually a scripture of understanding. So, and we're just like the book when the Most High begin to talk. Sometimes he give us a topic, but a lot of people get a misunderstanding of the topic, but it's about Israel. So this lesson is about Israel, right? So we really admonish you to really, if you follow along with us with King James Version Bible. And if we do go into the Apocrypha, I hope you have a 1611 or a Apocrypha handy, right? And we say that because we don't want your understanding to be watered down at all. So we're going to start off our first scripture. Our first scripture is going to come from the book of Genesis. Genesis 10 and 1. Genesis 10 and 1. Okay, so while he getting it, I want to say this right. You know, we are all Israelites, right? And we have to realize that everyone is being guided, you know, as an Israelite. Everybody's not going to have things perfectly right. All our behavior is not going to be perfectly right, but we still have to strive to be Israel, right? And if we don't want to be a stumbling block for our brothers or our sisters, right? So if you hear anything from the Ark of Israel that may be a stumbling block unto you, please contact the Ark of Israel, and we will identify it and we'll address it if and when it comes through, okay? And we'll do it with brotherly love, okay? Not with anger and not with strife, okay? You ready, my brother?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Genesis 10 and 1.
Uh-huh.
Now these are the generations of the son of Noah.
So we know that after the great flood, that Noah and his three sons and their wives and his wife, and a host of animals, clean and unclean, survived the flood. Go ahead, brother.
The sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Uh-huh.
And unto them were sons born after the flood.
Wow. And read.
The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Yavon, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Thyrash.
Mm-hmm.
And the sons of Gimmer, these are still sons under Japheth.
So when you hear, if you read the King James Version Bible, it's gonna say Gomer, but he's reading a Cephas, so it's gonna say Gimmer, okay?
And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz and Riphath and Togarmah. And the sons of Yavan, Elisha and Tarshish and Kittim and Dodanim.
So now remember now, he said Ashkenaz, right? When you listen at, when you look at the people that's over in the land, they call Ashkenaz Jews. So remember that, right, in the process of what's going through. And the Ashkenaz came under who? Gomer, am I correct? Okay, keep reading, my brother.
Gomer came under Jacob.
And right, and Joma came under Japheth, right? Jacob, right? Okay.
But these were the isles of the other people, or Gentiles, divided in their lands.
Uh-huh.
Everyone after his tongue, after their families, in their nations.
Okay.
I'm at 6 now.
Yes, sir.
And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mitzrayim, and Put, and Canaan.
So now I want y'all to remember something. A lot of times, people look at you and they tell you that they try to place upon the people here in America, the Israelites in America, they try to give us Ham's beef. They try to give us Ham's curse, right? They say we're cursed people because of what happened to Ham. But actually it said Ham. So, because Canaan, he cursed Canaan, but Canaan came under Ham. So y'all gotta remember that. You know, everybody gotta remember that. You know, when they talk about that curse, you gotta go back to Canaan and see who did Canaan come from, right? And continue reading the book.
But also under that, because that Hamite curse counts from, the theory of a Hamite curse comes from a different religion. I can't remember what different branch of Mormon. Yes. So that's and their curse is talking about because Ham was dark skinned. So again, they try to suggest that because Ham was dark skinned and we're dark skinned, that we're Ham. And again, it's a myth. It's not even true. That the curse was that Ham became dark skinned. And Ham, like as Elder said, it wasn't even Ham that was cursed. It was his son Canaan.
Right, right.
So just don't believe that Hamite curse myth is.
And you gotta remember that all black people, regardless of what nation, are painted with the same brush.
Right.
It's so broad, they link us all together, okay?
And again, Ham, Shem, and Japheth were brothers. So we have, many of us have siblings, and some of us have different variations of shades. Shades of color. My children, as a matter of fact, my son's a little bit lighter than me. My daughter is lighter than he is. They're same parents. So we have several different shades among our people, and it's always been that way. But again, Japheth, Shem, and Ham, they were all brothers.
Yes, sir.
That's also in the Talmud, and the Jewish people were the ones who actually originated. So because they wanted us of how they wanted to treat us during slavery. So the Talmud, they got that, and it's like literally staying in the Talmud that we are a cursed people, so that they could do what they did to us during slavery.
All false doctrines.
All false doctrines.
Understand that.
Okay, my brother.
All right, so I was at the sons of Ham, Cush, Mitzrayim, and Put, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Siva, and Shavilah, and Kavta, and Ramah, and Keftekah. And the sons of Raamah, Sheva, and Dedan, and Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a warrior and hunter in the earth. He was a warrior and a hunter before Yahuwah. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod the warrior, hunter before Yahuwah. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Eric, Akkad, and Kelna, in the land of Shinar. Out of that land went forth Ashashur, and built Nineveh, and the city of Rehoboth, and Calach. And Resen between Nineveh and Calach, the same is a great city.
So we remember what happened with Nineveh, right? That's what Jonah came in, that he didn't want to go over there. All right.
between Nineveh and Calak are the same as the great city. And Mizraim begat Ludi and Anamim and Lahabim and Nephituhim and Patrocine and Keklachim, out of whom came Palestine. I guess it's Palestine.
We visit Palestinians.
And Caphartirim.
Okay.
Caphartirim.
All right. Here come Canaan.
And Canaan begat Zidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and Jebusi, and the Emori, and I guess it's the Jebusites and the Emorites,
The Amorites.
and the Girgashites,
And the Girgasites. Yeah.
and the Shivites,
It was the Hivites.
Hivites, and the Archites,
Archites.
and the Sinites,
Mm-hmm.
and the
Aberdite.
Abronites, and the Semerites, and the Hamathites.
Right.
And afterward were the families of Canaan spread, the Canaanites spread abroad.
Okay. So we just see how big Canaan really is. Canaan is not a small amount of people. That's a lot of people. And they broke up to a lot of different nations. Okay, my brother?
And the border of the Canaanites was from Zidon as you come to Gerar unto Gaza, as you go unto Sodom and Gomorrah and Admah and Zeboim, and even unto Lesha. These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues, in their countries and in their nations.
Wow. So we see that, right? That's Ham. Now here we go.
I'm at 21 now.
Uh-huh.
Unto Shem also, the father of the children of Eber,
Uh-huh.
the brother of Japheth, the elder, even to him were children born.
So now, we kind of like held tight right there, but we got to realize, here come the bloodline. This is our bloodline right here. Our bloodline came from Shem. It did not come from Ham nor Japheth. It came from Shem. And we're gonna slide over that you do 22.
Okay. Verse 22.
That brother Brink went down through that, though. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for volunteering for all the words. Okay, we're on 22 now.
Verse 22.
Uh-huh.
The children of Shem,
The children of Shem,
Elam,
Elam,
and Asher,
uh-huh.
and Arphaxad,
Mm-hmm.
and Lud, and Aram, and the children of Aram, Uz, and Hod, and Gether, and Mash.
Okay, so remember, it's us, right? Wasn't that what Abraham was? In the land of Uz. Y'all remember that? Y'all see that, right? So that's what I'm saying. We tying in Shem into what? Into Israel, because we know Abraham is one of the forefathers of the Israelites. Okay?
Yeah, and again, right, 21. Unto Shem also the father of all the children of Eber. Eber is where the word Hebrew comes from.
Mm-hmm.
So Eber is a forefather of the Hebrews. Again, and as the elder said, that's the line of Abraham. And we came from Canaan.
Exactly. Okay, my brother.
Verse 24.
Uh-huh.
And Arphaxad begat Selah, and Selah begat Eber,
Uh-huh.
and unto Eber were born two sons.
Okay.
The name of one was Peleg,
Uh-huh.
for in his days was the earth divided.
Mm.
And his brother's name was Joktan.
Uh-huh.
And Joktan begat Almadad,
Mm-hmm.
and Sheleph, and Hazar Maveth, and Jared, and Hadaran, and Uzal, and Diklah, and Obal, and Abimael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan,
Uh-huh.
and their dwelling was from Mesha, as thou goest unto Sephar, a mount of the east.
All right. And then hit that, and this is us. Here we come. 31.
These are the sons of Shem,
Mm-hmm.
after their families, after their tongues, in their lands, after their nations.
Mm-hmm.
These are the families of the sons of Noah, after the generations in their nations, and by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood.
Okay, so we're gonna have a little discussion here real quick. So now, we do see where Shem's, the line of Shem came through, right? So if you take the line of Shem and the sons that came from Shem, and you put it against Ham or some of them other ones, you see that there's a whole lot more names that came under them than did us. So that's why the Most High said, I didn't choose you because you were such a great people, such a large amount of people. He said, I chose you because you were the fewest. So that ties right into what we just read here, the nations of Shem. So Shem was a nation, one of the biggest of the other nations of people, right? So, so I think, did you have a script you want to put with that, Brother Darren? No. If not, we can go to Isaiah right quick. You give me Isaiah 14:1. Check your script so you know what you're So we looking at, right, so we also looking at, so we looking at, in these days, you gotta be able to identify Israel. See, one of the bigger issues for Israel today is that they can't identify out. So there's some of them that just can't identify out. But there's some that's awakening that can identify out. So we want to be sure that Israel can look and identify themselves because they need to be seen. They need a mirror in front of their faces so they know who they are. Okay, my brother?
Isaiah 14:1.
Isaiah 14:1.
For Yahuwah will have mercy on Jacob,
He will have mercy on Jacob.
and will yet choose Israel.
So now listen to this. You know, when Israel went into bondage and these, what they call the Susis, we just looked on the video, was it? Cities. He had mercy upon them. They were able to jump off the boat, go into the land of India, and they were able to survive there and still keep their what? Still keep their heritage. Not the heritage, but the heritage of knowing who they are. They were still able to keep that, right? But if y'all notice, they had Susi Indians, right? They have Sidi Indians, right? It's just like Black Americans. Y'all see that? I'm sure they probably got, in other nations, Black Puerto Ricans or something like that, right? So they always give us a byword to tie us into them, to let them know that we're different from them. It's almost like we're riding on their coattail. Yes, sister.
They're just like the people here, that's more or less like what we know in North and South Carolina, Georgia, and all that.
Yeah.
Basically, they have an African custom from what they last knew, but they don't realize that Israel. So they're still going for we're Bantus. They know that.
Right.
And they know some of the stuff from where they were in Africa, but they still kind of forgot they history about Israel.
And that's a great case in point right there, because they only know so much more. So, no matter where we are, we still can be enlightened to who we are and what we're really about, and still need to try to cling on to our heritage. We as Israel, we need to know who we are, and not get caught up in trying to be somebody else. A lot of us, and men and women, want to cling on to what they see on TV, being like other nations of people. And we really don't want to be a part of other nations of people. You want to realize that you are that blessed nation of people. You want to be original. You want to be yourself. Try to find as much as you can about your own heritage and go forward.
Well, yes, we're made historically made to feel so bad as we're amongst these other nations, persecuted, treated terribly, and nobody wants that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's been a long time, many years. Our history and culture has been taken away, so we only know, many times what we are living.
Yes,
and what we know that we're living it doesn't feel so good. So many of us will do whatever we can because we just don't want to feel the way we've been made to feel. But those are all part of the curses, what Elder said earlier, from us going away from the covenant. Going away from the covenant.
And I think that my wife could probably attest to this. She would know more about this area than I do. But a lot of times that could be, that we do these things for self-gratification, you know, to make ourselves feel better about who we are. We'll do different things. We'll try to grab over something that, you know, that belongs to another nation. We want to be that, you know what I mean? Instead of being exactly who we are, for what we are, you know, and accept that we are that beautiful people. I remember when I did some research before, and I found out that at one time the Israelite women's hair, natural hair, went down to their feet. I couldn't believe it, and they was in locks. They wouldn't even, if they had taken the locks out, they'd been dragging the ground. You know what I mean? And they used to wear their hair that way. You know, like today, you got some Israelite women that try to tie scarves around them when they're walking around because they walk the street and they have a body shape that men be screaming and hollering up type of stuff. These women's hair were used to hide their bodies. Isn't that something? That the people couldn't see them, see their bodies, and they could keep their natural look and stuff like that without being harassed by men. Isn't that something? That's really something. So if you research that, you find out that what Brother Elihu just told you is a very true fact. That's some research that was done on our part years ago. Years ago, just came back to mind. But if you continue to read, what we had, brother?
We were at 14:1 still.
Yes, sir.
For Yahuwah will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land.
Mm-hmm.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
Mm.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Okay.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. The house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahuwah for servants and handmaids.
Okay.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
So now listen, I'm not going to call out any name of no other nation. I'm not going to call out no name to no other nation. But if there is a nation of people that have taken Israel and oppressed Israel, have taken them into bondage, the Most High say that that same thing is going to turn around and it's going to go back into them.
Yeah, I got a precept for that in Revelation 13, verse 9 through 10.
Revelation 13, 9 through 10.
And it reads,
Uh-huh.
if any man have an ear, let him hear.
Y'all hear that? Said, if any man have an ear, let him hear.
He that leadeth into captivity
Uh-huh.
shall go into captivity.
So we know that Israel has been in the captivity for over 400 years now. And we know that anybody have taken them into captivity, it don't matter who it is. I'm not calling any nation out. But it don't matter who it is. If they are known to have Israel in captivity, they will go into captivity themselves.
And he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Those ones that killed the Israelites, you know, we got brothers today being killed. I mean, it's every day. I'm hooked up with news feeds. And I'm getting news feeds every day. Maybe I need to stop watching because those things can be depressing sometimes. And it can bring on a little anger. But every day I'm seeing young brothers getting killed. Well, let me change that. Old and young brothers and sisters being killed right there on the street. And guess what? To them, they're doing it legally. They're killing them. The police is killing them. Not to mention we got Israel and Israelite crime killing each other. But we need to erase that because there's enough of them killing them. But they are killing Israel right in the middle of the street. And they don't even care. They had one brother, they laid in the street for hours. And his mother had sat there and watched him in the street. What's that boy's name? Down in Missouri. Michael Brown, that's it. Michael Brown. He laid in the streets for years and years, not years, I'm sorry, for hours at a time, and they laid him there. And for a moment, they didn't have a cover. The mother had to act a fool for them to even cover his body up. But they killing us. They killed a sister that was that had her son right before her. They kicked her door down and killed her in the house. They killed a sister not too long ago, a few days ago. That right in front of a kid, I think the police killed her in the middle of the night, shot her. Because you can hardly see the video well, but you can see the darkness and you can hear the shooting. And he pulled her over for, I think, a speeding violation or a tag violation or something on a car. And you get killed because you're speeding. You get killed because your tags are not legal, I'm not, they legal, the tags legal, but they could be, what you call that thing, expired. And you get killed because your tags expired? Come on, help me with this. This don't make sense. I can't get that understanding. And then they deem themselves not guilty. They deem themselves not guilty. And that's something because they let them off. Yes, sister.
You got a couple of forms of mentality when you're dealing with police officers. You have some officers that are literally afraid of you. And they rather shoot you before they think you'll do something to them. And then you have some that have hatred in their heart.
Right.
Because I've seen a lot of videos where a lot of brothers are asking cops, why are you shaking?
Right.
Why are you shaking?
Right.
You're the enforcer, you're shaking. I'm telling you, I didn't do anything wrong. Why are you shaking? Why you your hand on the gun shaking? Because there's a fear also in this house. It's an unknown fear. Because there's a paradigm shift. This thing is about to change up.
That's right.
Unconsciously, they know it, just like we consciously know.
Right, exactly. Now we got to think about something else too, right? Especially with driving issue, right? I've been pulled over many times by police in my lifetime, and when they pulled me over, they ran my tags and they ran my tag or they ran my ID. It didn't take them 5 minutes to do it. It took them longer than 5 minutes. It took them sometimes 10, 15 minutes. I'd be sitting like, come on already, you know, come back and give me an answer. But if the police, if you go and pass a police officer, and he see your tag, and then he make a U-turn and come back to you, that police did not read your tag. He didn't read that you have a warrant. He can't read a warrant on you by passing by you seeing your tag. He got to run your tag. Then he got to run your identification, and then he can get that right. So we got to be really careful about that. So when that happened, that's called what? Racial profiling. They saw a black man or black woman driving a car. They had nothing else to do. I guess they didn't have nobody to chase down. So they said, this is a good one right here for me to pull over. So we had to be real careful with racial profiling also. You know, so, and when I was a young man, I came to a point where I was like, wow, you know, what's going on? And they pulled me over so many different times. And I'm from Midwest. I'm from down Arkansas. And them guys, they used to pull us over and really actually put their hands on us. So I had gotten to a point that if I was coming down the street and police was coming out of a corner, I turned into the corner he was coming out of. You got to make a straight U-turn to catch me. You know, so that's the way I used to do it that way, but I'm not saying that's the way you should do it today. I think that you should go ahead and do what you're going to be yourself. Don't have and don't be afraid of them, but be aware that you are being profiled. Yes, sir.
Zechariah 11, verse 4 through 5.
He gave us a precept on what we've just been talking about.
Thus said the Most High, my Elohim,
Yes, sir.
feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them, and hold themselves not guilty. And they that seldom say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
You see that? So that just following scripture right there. That they killing us on the street, and they saying that we're not guilty. They let them off after they kill young, innocent black men. I don't think that somebody that has gotten in an argument with his wife needs to be gunned down by the police. I don't think that somebody that got in an argument with their girlfriend should be gunned down by the police. I don't think that somebody that was walking the street in the wrong neighborhood should be gunned down by the police. I don't think if you go inside of a store and you have an argument with somebody in the store, even if it's the owner of the store, and you're outside that premises, that you need to be gunned down by the police. I think that when we should be treated like any other nation of people. But if you really want to see who Israel is, look at who they're doing this to. Who are they killing and deeming themselves not guilty? They're not doing it to them as a cause of Ashkenazi Jew. Ashkenazi Jews over there. Y'all know what I'm saying? They're not doing it to them. They're not doing it to them. They're doing it to us. That identifies you right there. You got to see what's going on around you, and that is who they're identifying, and that's who they're that's who they're doing these things to. And so you can identify yourself with what's happening to you. You know. I'm sorry, brother. Okay, you ready? You back here? I think you was at 2. Yes, sir. Isaiah 14 and 2. Did we finish it?
And never did finish.
Okay. If you read it again to me, we'll go back through it.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahuwah for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
You see that? So, do we have to do anything? How do you guys know that our Elohim shall, when he say something shall happen, it don't miss. He said we shall go into bondage. Where are we at? It said we shall be oppressed. Where are we at? It said our sons and stuff going to be on the heads of the corner. Where are they at? Everything he's saying that shall happen has happened to us. So don't think that he's going to say something shall happen to another nation and it don't happen to that other nation. If you can pull up 2 Chronicles for me, you keep your precept. Go to 2 Chronicles for me and hit 2 Chronicles 7. And we're going to go to that 14th verse, right? We got to understand that he said these things will happen. He said those that had us captive, we're going to take them back into captivity, right? And those that ruled over us and oppressed us, do y'all not think that for one moment, anybody that had us oppressed, or anybody that had us in captivity, if they turn around and they're oppressed and they're in our captivity, you think they're not going to be oppressed about that? They're going to be some sick puppies. It's going to actually happen, right? So right now, you know, their kingdom is what we're living in right now. You know, we're living in the time of the Gentiles. Well, how can you identify me as being a Gentile and it's not my time? The people that's running this earth right now, the ones that, and they say Gentiles, they just say one nation. So when we say Gentiles, we can't call out one name of one nation and say that name right there is the one that he's talking about. He's talking about all the Gentiles. This is the time of the Gentiles. That's why Gentiles come into a neighborhood that all black people are in. They open up a corner store, and then when black people go to the corner store, they watch them like hawks and call them thieves. But at the same time, they didn't have to set their store up in that neighborhood. They set their stores up in that neighborhood to get your money. Because they know that they're doing what? They're trying to rape and rob you as much as they can. Right? They set up stores where you can get your hair and your nails done. And you go in there and you don't agree to them and they can do whatever they want to do. They start fights with you. They hit you in the head. They do all, you just watch the videos. They do everything they can to you in the sake of they're defending themselves, but they came over and set up in your neighborhood. That's like me going over to your house, set up in your bedroom, not the bedroom, I don't know what, but set up in your living room, and I get in your living room and I'm gonna direct what happens in your house. And anything that I direct that you don't want to go along with, I'm gonna call the police and the police gonna come in and be on my side. That don't make sense. It is not right. So we gotta realize that we gotta start doing business with black people. You want your nails done, you go to a black-owned nail shop and get them to do it. I don't know if black people clean feet now. I don't know. I don't know. But you can get your own product. Get your little bucket, man. Stick your feet in there. Let them soap over out. Put some soap on it. You ain't got to dive right into it. Rub them together in the water. You'll see it coming off. You know, you got to do because why do we need to go there and throw our feet up in front of them and feel like we in heaven? We feel like we've been in our heaven's place. But we can't feel like that everything is going great because somebody rubbed on your feet. They be talking about you while they doing touching one y'all. They're not saying that this nigga's feet is dirty. Thinking, do I have to do this? And you sitting there like you're a king because you got the money. We got to realize that these people don't want to do this. They only want your money. And if they would cut your feet down until they raw, you can't even walk out of there. And then if you complain and they took blood out of you, they're going to be mad because you want your $20 back. You see? So now a fight's going to start. So why going anyway? These people are targeting us. They are targeting us as a people, right? If they really had that problem, they would go set them up in Chinese neighborhood. Or they set them in their own neighborhood. All these stores that pop up in your neighborhood because they're trying to rape and rob you and keep you oppressed. It is very oppressing to walk into a store and somebody following you around or somebody watching you and then they say the lady stole something and they choke a lady out in the store. And I don't see how some black people can be in the store with these people and they choking somebody out, they let them choke them out. It don't make sense to me. Let them up. They ain't going nowhere. Let them up. Why you got to choke them out? Why you got to hit them something? Black people need to learn to rise up and stand for something. We're going to all fall for anything. And we're at the book of 2 Chronicles, and we're going to read 2 Chronicles 7 and 14.
If my people which are called by my name.
He said, if my people, just the Most High talking, he only chose one people. He only chose one people. He only surnamed one people. Can any of the kids tell me who he surnamed? Who did he surname? Yes. He surnamed Israel, right? Do any of you all know when he surnamed Israel? When did he do it? When did that take place? I can't hear you. Huh? No. Surname. He did when they came out of Egypt, but it's another time. He gave them, how did we get the name Israel? What person is also known as Israel? Yes, sir. Jacob, yes. Jacob. Yes. No. She kicking herself now because she knew the answer. She kicking herself, she knew the answer. But Jacob's why. So we got our name Israel when he surnamed Jacob. So he surnamed Jacob, he surnamed Israel. That's why he said, my people. He gave us his name. He gave no other nation his name except for who? Israel, which is, I like to say, us. Right? And I don't need to bash another nation to say this. He gave it to us. That's it. That's all. So he said, if my people, which is us, that are called by name, my name, which is Israel, which is us, will do what?
Shall humble themselves.
Wait a minute now. He said, well, humble themselves. That means that we're not humble. That means that we've did something that we should not have done. What?
And pray.
That means we're not praying. If we're praying, we're not praying to him. Read.
And seek my face.
That's what I said. We're not praying to him. We got to pray to him and seek his face. And like Hamashiach said, some things you got to do a little fasting with to get it taken care of. You got to fast and pray on some things, right? But he said, if those people would also pray and seek his name and what?
And turn from their wicked ways.
Now, where did they get the wicked ways from? If he had a living by his law, statutes, and commandments, and he had a covenant with us, and we was at one time our people was keeping those covenants, where did we get these wicked ways from? We went and did it in a way that he told us not to do it. He told us not to do something. What did he tell us not to do? Can anybody back there, and the kids, anybody tell me what he told us not to do? What did he tell us? Huh? Like they gotta take the mic back over. Somebody take that mic right there back so I can hear them. Take it back there. Turn it on, make sure it's ready. Give it to him so I can hear him. Y'all know I got old brother, so I got a bad ear here now too. He said break the commandments. Yeah, he told us not to break commandments, but he told us leave it there like they don't know what else. No, you can stay with it. You just keep it. You're doing good right there. I got something for you. You just keep the mic. All right. So look. Yes, sir. That's it. Get this guy the mic. Bring the mic up here to him. He told us not to do something. What did he tell us not to do?
Not to follow other nations.
And the reason why he told us not to follow other nations because other nations worship other gods. They had a covenant themselves with whatever Elohim, but whatever God that they worship, they had a covenant with their God. That's why when he brought us out of Israel and all those plagues that he put upon those people of Israel, not out of Israel, when he brought us out of Egypt, all those plagues he put upon Egypt was the Egypt's God. It was the Egyptians' God that he took and turned on them to show them that I can control your God. How can you not identify me or respect me and I can control, and I am a Elohim, but I can control your God and turn him against you? Isn't that something? But all of them had these different but he told Israel, he said, don't follow these nations. Don't get involved in these nations because if you do, you're going to get caught into those small GODs. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Since we were talking about the Sidi people in India, some of them practice Buddhism and
that hurt.
Hinduism, my apologies.
Well, that hurt.
Hinduism.
That hurt.
And they actually have this thing called a swastika, which we know it as Hitler, but Hitler's is in reverse. It means no peace according to Hitler. But before Hitler had it, the Hindus used that symbol to say peace, that's their God, it means own. So that symbol has a duality. So people need to know, when you see it,
Wow,
depending on which way it's going, they're
wow,
letting you know they're either Hindu or they're either skinhead in today's way.
wow. I just learned something. Y'all brothers knew that? You knew that? I didn't know that. Look at me seriously. I didn't know that. Did you know that? Okay, you got a precept?
Yeah, Proverbs 3, verse 31.
Proverbs 3, verse 31. And 31. All right, rest of the children, don't forget, you gotta get involved. We got something that's been active here. Go ahead.
Proverbs 3, verse 31.
Uh-huh.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Wait a minute now. What did that tell us? Kids, come on, help me out. What did that tell us? It said, envy not the oppressor. What did that tell you? Any answers? Y'all doing good. Don't be afraid. He said, envy not the oppressor. You got a thought. What is it? Fine. I got y'all mixed up. See, they twins. I call every time. I got a 50% chance now I always get it wrong. I always get it wrong. I call one and one the other one. Minnie. I call Minnie punt and punt Minnie. So she has to want to say Minnie? Okay. So we'll go forward. Keep going, brother.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy not the oppressor. Those people that have us in bondage, those people that are oppressing us, it say envy not. So basically, envy not in this hour, envy not the Gentiles. Why do you not envy not the Gentiles? Because all of the Gentiles have us oppressed. They all took a taboo. They all came together and made a covenant between each other to make us no more or less. Envy not them. Don't envy their cars, don't envy their houses, don't envy their hair, don't envy their feet, don't envy their nose. You got people that's black that go out and get their nose trimmed down and curved up and sticking out just like a nose of somebody else that's not ours. That's how we identify. That's how we was able to identify over in Egypt that the kings over there was black based on their noses. They tried to actually break the noses off a few of them.
Statues, artifacts.
Yeah, they did that. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish
It
yours.
said, envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways.
Ooh, y'all got that one. That's what I was trying to get y'all to say. Y'all should have seen you've been reading. Y'all read a little bit ahead, old brother Darren, and y'all had that answer. But he said, do what?
Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways.
So we as Israel shouldn't even try to pick up none of their ways. None of their ways. None of the ways of the oppressor.
That's him giving us wisdom because, again, as we were talking about in the beginning, just in our general conversation, we're oppressed. We're made to feel a certain way. We forgot who we are. We don't know who we are. We don't know our own culture. So we're trying our best to blend into a culture that doesn't want us. So we're constantly being made to feel bad by, that culture. But his original instructions were, he gave us his covenant is actually a culture into itself, in and of itself. Of itself. So
one of his own.
There you go. So if we're following, and this is why he said he pleased with us, through the prophets, return to me, because he's saying, return to my ways, return to the covenant. That's our culture. If we're returning to our culture in his covenant, which means we're focused on him, not following someone else. We're focused on him and what he gave us. Then we're not looking at any other Gentile ways. So again, this is another way of saying, don't look at them, look at me.
Right. Return to your culture.
That's right.
Return to, yes, sister.
I was just thinking that that's why a lot of people turn to the celebrity lifestyle or worship them. They want to be like them, their idols. And that's another reason why.
And that's very valid, right?
Because they hear you, they want their life.
Yeah, that's very valid, right? But guess why that's valid? Because when TV first came out, wasn't no black people on there. And they wanted somebody black, when they painted their own face black. That's where the black face came from. If they wanted to go out and make it look like make us look bad, they painted their face together and they act really stupid. And because they would always say that we were the dumbest people on the thing. In fact, they had said that we was some percentage of a human, right? 3/5 of a human. Ain't that something? All right, we got Minnie and Punt doing their twin thing back there. So, did you have something to say? You did. Is she trying to stop you from saying something? No. I know y'all going back and forth. I ain't know if somebody trying to, get somebody's answer. So we got to understand that, right? That we need to be within our own covenant, right? With the Most High. And look, black people didn't want to be, and listen, even though white people used to sing, right? And I'm talking about in front of crowds, right? And they got a lot of how would you say that? A lot of starship from that, being a star type of thing from that. And then they start bringing in black people, and black people have to sing before the white people first, because they don't have it. They sing before the white people first, right? And then you gotta look at it. Then they start bringing us more and more the Cynthia Portiers and those different people. They start bringing them the dangerous woman. Who? Dorothy Dandridge, and they start bringing them before people. Dangerous, did I get it wrong? They start bringing them before the people, letting them become movie stars and stuff. Do you think they was paying them? They was paying themselves? No, of course not, right? So those are the ways of the heathen. Those are the ways of the Gentiles. We just catch on. They get different ways as we go. It's not all their ways are not written in this book. They have new ways of doing things that we are following, right? Do any of you all believe that when they first started playing football, do y'all believe there were black football players?
No.
When they first started playing basketball, do you think that they were black basketball players? When they found out that we were more superior in singing, they wanted us to sing. When they found out we were more superior in running, they wanted us to run. When they found out we were more superior in hitting and taking, fighting, I'm talking being a great athlete, that's what they want us to do. And guess what? They want us to do that to do what? To represent them as a people. Because at the end of the day, they get paid for it.
Well, even if you look at the gladiators and is that Rome?
Yeah, yeah.
Those were Israelites. Many of those gladiators were actually Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
If you look back at the paintings and things of that nature.
And if you look at the auditorium that the gladiators was in, and look at the football stadium, there's not much difference in it.
That's true. That's right. But I also want to specify that he told us not to follow the Gentiles, but it was us who stepped out of line and did that.
Right.
So it was our decision. We strayed. We are a stiff-necked people, which is what he tells us through the prophets and his word.
Mm-hmm.
So it was us that left. Even when Israel knew they were Israel and knew the culture, there were some of us, some wicked men of Israel, as it says at a certain point in the Bible, that chose a different path.
Mm-hmm.
So there are always other nations, just as we saw from Noah's children and their descendants. There are always other nations, and they're all scattered around the land. But we have been given specific instructions, and it's us. No one can control you. You have to make decisions, and it was us, unfortunately, that decided to go in a direction that was away from the Most High. So we have to correct that, and that's what He's pleading for us to do. And He's given us grace and mercy and an opportunity to do that through our actions of following the law, statutes, and commandments, and believing in our Hamashiach, Yahushua Hamashiach, which is our righteousness.
Brother Darren has he got two precepts. Did you want someone to read them? You got it.
I got it.
Okay.
Ezekiel 36, verse 17 through 19. It says, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way, and by their doings. Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman. Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they have shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they had polluted it. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries. According to their way and according to their doings, I judged them.
Do that not cover everything we just got to saying? We came down to be, following the way of the Gentiles. Go ahead, brother.
And in Amos chapter 3, verse 1 through 2. Amos chapter 3, verse 1 through 2.
Mhm.
Hear this word that the Most High has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Say that again real quick. I kind of like.
Amos 3, verse 1 through 2.
Amos 3, verse 1 through 2.
Hear this word that the Most High has spoken against you.
I didn't speak it. Moses didn't speak it. Nobody spoke it but the Most High. He said what?
O children of Israel,
He's addressed to Israel once again.
against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying,
Each and every one of us. Go ahead.
you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
You see that? You are the only ones he's ever known. Y'all see that? Go ahead, brother.
Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
That's why Israel that's why Moses is so hard on us. He didn't open up to nobody but, you know what I mean? Nobody but us. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? He has the power to pick anybody else he wants, and he chose us.
Chose to marry us.
And then when he did it, we backslid. We turned out, we broke the bonds of marriage. Right? Wouldn't that be something that would make you kind of angry? Don't you think that would be a problem with that? My brother got one more precept, and then we got two precepts left. We got one from him and one from not precept. Precept in our last scripture.
Psalms 147, verse 19 through 20.
Yes, sir.
He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Mm-hmm.
He has not dealt so with any nation.
So I'm wondering, why do people wake up on Sunday morning and listen to these people teaching them stuff and asking them for their money? Why do they wake up in the morning religiously and they jump up and they want to watch these people on TV? They are a fan club of the Gentiles. But he said he ain't gave them nothing. He didn't give them nothing. You know, some people might have some knowledge of Israel. And I just one preacher I used to wait, he was a white guy. I used to wait for him to go. He said, go ahead and say it. You said everything and just say it with me. Say it with the people. And he erred every time and said, asking about Jews. I was like, okay, that's it. So we got to understand that these are not the people we need to be following because they are a Gentile nation. Most I haven't given them nothing. There's a lot of people that teach this church that are Israelite preachers. And what they do is they preach in accordance with what they've learned from the Gentile. That is not what the Most High had planned to happen. And we have to make sure we pull ourselves away from that. One more precept, brother? That was it? Okay.
He has not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known him. Praise the Most High.
They don't even know his judgment. They don't know him. How can you get it from them if they don't know him? Isn't that something? That's something we have to be really on top of right there. You got Zechariah ready? Let me put it up for you again.
And the other thing to mention is that again, as part of the curses that we have received from Deuteronomy, part of that was forgetting who we are. But he also promised that he was going to awaken us, and that's the reason that we're all here right now, because we are a product of Yah's awakening. You know, and that process is going on and is widening. If you're paying attention, you're seeing more and more of us understanding or waking up to the fact that we are Israel and trying to return to the covenant and to the ways of the Most High, and also understanding that Yahushua is our Messiah and our Savior. So, you know, it's part of the process. Y'all know what's going to happen, and in His mercy and His grace, He's allowing us to receive this now.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that's not going to necessarily be easy. You know, we're all surrounded by people that think differently and are of a different understanding because they haven't been awakened yet, or we're scattered amongst nations that have a different understanding, which is not His. You know, so that's why we have to always continue to pray for our nation. And again, it doesn't mean that other people are excluded, but they have to do the same thing, which is grab onto understand who Israel is, and also grab onto the covenant that our Messiah, that Yah has given to Israel.
And now this brother has not gotten the scripture yet. I just told him Zechariah. I didn't give it to him, right? But it's funny he said what he said. Watch this. Zechariah 13, 7 through 9.
Zechariah 13, 7 through 9. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, says Yahuwah Zephayoth. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. And I will turn my hand upon the little ones. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, says Yahuwah, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die.
You see that? Everybody is not gonna wake up. Everybody is not gonna get it. There's gonna be twice as many people not get it that's gonna get it. We waking up now, look how many people still asleep. You see, it's twice as many. But every person in here, there's 2 people that's not awake. Y'all notice that? But that's basically what it's saying, right? Read, brother.
But the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire. That means it's going to be difficult. And will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, Yahuwah Elohai, which you are I Elohim.
Okay. We wanna, I wanna say this once again. Did you have anything you want to say, brother?
Just as far as, the 2/3 getting cut off, in 2nd Ezra 16, chapter 16, verse 22 to 28.
Go ahead.
It says, verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The tree shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grape shall ripe, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men, so that one man shall desire to see another and hear his voice. For a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rock.
Wow.
That's 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, and that was from 22 to 28.
So we do understand, yes, that 2/3 of Israel, they're gonna refuse this, they're gonna refuse the truth, right? And they're gonna and they're not gonna make it to the kingdom. But I can tell you this right here: everybody that ever drew breath is gonna make it into judgment. Judgment is not something you can't get away from. I want to say that I really hope that this. I really hope that this right here is something to help everybody as far as Israelites go. And if it don't, send us an email. We have more. So I want to say thank you all for your time. May the Most High be with each and every one of you. If you guys don't mind, we can stand up. We're gonna stand up. No, I'm sorry. We're gonna kneel and face the east and do our final prayer. God bless you.